You've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome back. Welcome Black. It's a Friday. Coming to the end of the year. This is In Black America Radio. Your host, Rasta B. Today is December 23rd, 2016. And like I said, we got another week left before the end of this year. Guest calling number 646-716-4654. Today's title is Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself. My name is Anglo Saxon Supremacy. So we're going to talk about basically white supremacy, the shit going on in these white people's heads, and why we think we can change that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into all of that because sometimes I feel like we have this weird fixation on white people to the point that we don't realize that the more we love them, the easier it is for them to destroy us. So again, call in 646-716-4654. Before I continue, let me bring my co-host in. Smoke, are you there?
Yes, sir. What's good? Yeah, like you hear any background noise? You hear a lot of background noise anytime?
No, I don't hear nothing.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah. Shit, man. You know, weekend up. A lot of crazy shit going on in the news. We're coming to the end of the year, the beginning of the ending of the year, the ending of Barack Obama, the beginning of Trump, back to white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of the boy
Barack is out of there. He's on his way out.
You know what I'm saying? And look, now I want to talk big shit. Like, come on, man.
He ain't paying attention to that, dude.
Bro, I don't think I got the story. I'm seeking up if I have it. But how your week was, man?
Yeah, I mean, regular week, you know what I'm saying? You got the holidays and all that coming up, so, you know, just doing different stuff at work to compensate for everybody who off from work, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's been like, you know, as far as the work week, it's been that, you know, just ready for the long weekend. You know, I'm off Monday, so I'm excited about that, you know what I'm saying? You know, chill out for a day, you know what I'm saying? Don't got to clock in, but, you know, regular week and shit, just pretty much just been in the vibe of, like, you know, the year winding down, like, what's next, you know what I'm saying? But regular week for me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't complaining.
Yeah. I just been turning attention to a lot of shit going on. And it's just funny, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things that I say, you know, in the private or things that has been said on the BlogTalkRadio, you know what I'm saying? It's like, basically the truth need no explanation. And if you talking truth, then you're going to end up hearing that because that's the only avenue you're going to end up going. So I'm looking at this documentary on Netflix. I think it's called...
Your documentary game be up now.
Oh, yeah. And I just be stumbling on them shit. You know what I'm saying? I just be stumbling on them shit. Word. But I've seen one. I'm trying to pull up my account right now so I can get the correct name. But I think one of them is called Worth Nothing or something like that. I have my account up. So, Money for Nothing. So if you got Netflix, check out this documentary. It's called Money for Nothing. They talk about the whole market crashing and shit like that. And this is like based on 2007 crash.
Right.
So then it goes back until like the early 1900s. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing about it is, in the beginning of the documentary, they say, it's amazing that the United States dollar is still like the currency for the world, being that it's not backed by nothing but a promise, but faith. That's it. You know what I'm saying? There was like the marketing of the dollar was done so well that nobody else could see their money overshadowing the dollar.
Okay.
The Chinese try that, but they do too much manipulation with their money. And if you remember on, I believe it was Saturday's show, or the last show that we did, I was talking about how the Chinese was moving their money, the wealthy ones, or the ones in the middle class, they were moving a lot of their bread to the United States dollar because they
right.
falling.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's based off of what? Nothing. So then they start talking about the whole stock crash in the 1920s. And how that, and the contributing factors of that. Then they start talking about the crash, the 1987 crash. You know what I'm saying? They start talking about the bubble, right? So they're talking about the 2007 bubble, which is the housing bubble. They're talking about the dot-com bubble. They're talking about the stock bubble. So now, at the end of that documentary, they're talking about the government spending bubble. Because you got to remember, the country is supposed to be in debt. You know what I'm saying? Japan owns the majority of the treasuries. No longer do China do that. and what's the point I'm making? They own the debt, and basically all of the government incentives that's being put into place, that bubble's going to pop. You know what I'm saying? Another part, the point they was making is that, so basically saying that we're coming into another bubble, basically. So like I said, with this Trump presidency going to bring a recession. We already know that. Boom, okay. This market rising up. They don't even have a justifiable reason to explain why the stock market is even increasing. You see what I'm saying? And they haven't had a justifiable reason why the stock market was increasing since 2010. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since when we start fucking around with the
Barack, man. When you talking about Barack, man, Barack is the reason. Man, Barry.
See, what nobody understands is what people do is there's a hole and motherfuckers just filling that shit up with putty paste, cotton, painting over it, making it look good, and then saying, see, I fixed it. Right? They patched the shit up, and then now I'm out of office. So what happened is, if Hillary would have came in, he was supposed to pretend that the patchwork was working. You see what I'm saying? But what happened is when another party comes in, whether it's Republicans, they come a Democrat, or vice versa, they come in and they're like, let me go see how they fix this damn wall. Get the fuck out of here. Look at this bull. This shit ain't shit. And then they end up digging the shit out, and then we could be back into the hole. You know what I'm saying? The niggas like, yo, we need this amount to fix this hole still. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on right now. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the whole documentary was talking about. They were saying how because of the low interest rates, and they're not talking about now. I'm going to tell you how ill it is. They still talking about Bernanke. I think that's just his name, Bernanke. Some shit. The one.
Bernanke, yeah.
I think his name was Bernanke. I think he was the last Fed chairman.
I want to say.
Yeah, I want to say Ben Bernanke. He was the last Fed chairman, right? If that's the correct name, right?
It's something to
they
that.
Still
fit.
showing him. Right. They showing Janet Yellen, who's the right. They showing Janet Yellen, who's the current federal chairperson. At the time, she was just the vice chairperson under Bernanke. You see what I'm saying? And so she's under there. They talking about
he was in
the
office
issue, and they saying no.
2014.
Yeah, so they saying that because the interest rates are so low, it makes everybody want to go out there and borrow. So now all of this borrowing, once the interest rates go up, then everybody gets shocked because it's like, damn, how are we going to pay this now with these high interest rates? And then everybody default. And then that's how the shit goes into a recession. They talking about 2007. 9 years later, if my math is correct, let's say the real shit. 10 years later is 2017. You see what I'm saying? So that's now that's the beginning of Trump. So we're going to be, if the pattern is correct, we're going to be into another recession, like I said. You see what I'm saying? So, again, you got to be ahead of the curve with these things. You got to be able to. So here's another one, another documentary I was looking at, right, by Oliver Stone. Well, I didn't finish watching this, but it should still be on my list. I want to say it's Oliver Stone, right? But he got a documentary out called The Strange Stories of America, something like that. I'm trying to see. It should be coming up in a minute now. But I was looking at that joint, and they were just talking about, like, why America had to drop the bomb on Japan and all kind of shit like that, like the real reason behind the shit, showing how certain people got into the election and all kind of shit. And shit is like, you know what I'm saying, it's a little, it ain't shocking or nothing like that if your eyes already open, but it's reassuring, you know what I'm saying, that basically, like, if you watch it, it makes you say to yourself, all right, it's called Oliver Stone, Untold History of the United States. And the part that I was bringing up is the part that when he talks about, in the beginning he says he likes history. The thing he likes about history is, like, if you follow it, you can start to see a pattern.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you follow it, you can see a pattern. And that's something else I keep telling people. You can see a friggin' pattern. That's why I keep coming with my 20-year theory. It's a pattern. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand the pattern, once you get to that wave again, like we're coming into 2020. You see what I'm saying? Don't wait until 2019 and then start hearing people tell you they want to break down 2020 to you all of a sudden. No. We coming in too. Is it ironic that the 4 years that Trump is going to be president while pushing this or giving an energy towards this whole Anglo Saxon rights bullshit going on, that's going to be 4 years, that's going to be 2020, and that's going to be the completion of another 20 years? None of this shit is coincidence. It's just that we keep falling for the same goddamn trick all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that mean the next 20 years is going to start off with his re-election and shit. That like kicks off and shit. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
You already see that. You already see that shit. And that's the whole thing. It's like we don't get it. That's why we keep falling for the same shit over and over again. That's why they keep being able to trick us all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because they know we're not paying attention. It is so crazy to me when you read history. And I'm not talking about going back to Kemet and fucking the first person that came on the fucking planet. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the fucking 1900s, the late 1800s. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to start to see, the agenda and the shit we're talking about right now has always been the agenda. So I'm going to read the title real quick. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to read the title just to show you what I'm saying. Governor John B. Gordon of Georgia and head of the United Confederate Veterans explained the meaning of the Confederacy to be opposition to the Farmers' Alliance to preserve white supremacy. This is in 1890. Okay? 1890. 100 years later will be 1990. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and we still talk, and what we talking about in 1990, white supremacy. Now it's
100 years. Damn.
20. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's 100 years. In 19, there's no reason for us to be talking about what these white people is doing and how to combat them in 2017. When this is a problem we was dealing with since they said hi to us. You know what I'm saying? We've been dealing with their bullshit. But we keep talking like it's new. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we just explained and we just pull up our parents and we just did this and we just did what? These are psychopaths. So, you know.
That's crazy, man. Yo, man, if we don't switch it up, man, it's gonna be another 100 years, you know what I'm saying? It'll be, what, 2009?
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Saying the same stupid shit. Saying the same shit. I'm talking about literally, right? I could show you these crackers been having this tradition of preserving the white race on documents, you can say from 1787 up until now, to the present. They got documents from 1787 to the present with them dealing with the preservation of their race, the control of others, and them being on top of society. That's why I laugh. Let me ask you a question, Smoke. Because I laugh at the Hebrew Israelites, right? One of the reasons why I laugh at the Hebrew Israelites, they say, they like you ever heard the Hebrews when they say shit like, well, in the Bible it says in the Hebrews, and they talk about like the Hebrews and the Son of God and all kind of other shit, right?
Yeah, they be saying all
my whole thing about they say all that shit, right? But here's my whole shit. Is the Bible set up another way? Or is the Bible set up for you to champion the Hebrew? Champion the Son of God, champion God, and champion everything that everybody keep pointing to. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you're reading the Three Little Pigs, everybody reads the Three Little Pig and like, damn, man, I wonder what the wolf was going through that made him so angry with the pig.
Yeah, it's like
you know
the angle of the story. The layout.
The angle of the story is for the pigs. Right. So when you read the story, guess what? Subconsciously or consciously, the wolf is going to be the bad guy. Not one time have you ever thought to yourself, reading or listening to the Three Little Pigs, why the fuck is this wolf so pissed off at these pigs? What did these pigs do that made this wolf say, I'm about to blow down all y'all home? Well, as far as we know, these three little fucking pigs ran up in the wolf's home, burned down their whole goddamn community, killed everybody except that last lone wolf. And he went out trekking, hunting for these pigs, finally came to these three fuckers and started blowing down their houses. You know what I'm saying? But if you're reading the book, it's lined up for the pig. So I'm looking at these Hebrews and I'm like, the book is lined up for the Hebrews. The book is lined up for the Son of God. The book is lined up for God. The book is lined up for the angels. The book is lined up for everything that y'all saying is proof. You know what I'm saying? Right. What the fuck did the Philistines do so fucked up? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like who was this other nation that came and I'm dealing with? You see what I'm saying? And then he was to go break down. Well, let me show you right here, brother. And this is the effort. And these people are really the no. We ain't talking about your explanation. The book is designed this way, right? And this ain't no Bible bashing day today. I'm just making a point. The book is designed that way, for you to think that way, right? This society is designed for us to look at white people as superior, black people as inferior, right? So even if you see, like, even if we look at, like when they show you the doll test shit, and they show the kid, and they might be like, who's the clean one? And they point to the white one. Who's the dirty one? Who's the bad one? Is the black one, and who's the good one? Is the white one. And then they'll say, well, why do my kids think like that? Because this society is set up for the white person to always be on top and a black person to be perceived on the bottom, right? It's designed this way. So I'm thinking when it comes to the Bible, when it comes to the television, the news, the media, all of this other shit, right? Why do we take any of this shit serious? Why do we take any of it serious? Why do we take this religion shit serious? Why do we take this goddamn stereotype serious? This bullshit ass racism shit serious? Why do we take any of this shit serious if you just understand that all of this is construct that this white man created that's designed to keep him on the perception that he's above you and to keep you on the perception that you're below him. That even when the black person makes it, they end up turning into black versions of white people. You see what I'm saying? Because subconsciously, that's how it's set up and designed to be. You see what I'm saying? So I say that to segue into the Havoc brain damage. Did you get to peep that?
Yeah, I listened to it, and I was trying to figure out which part you was gonna say and shit. So I'm interested to see what part you referring to.
So let me tell you. Remember the part, because it starts with the part when they talk about the insurance in the hip hop union.
Okay, all right. So that's what you were talking about. All right, cool.
No, that was the beginning part. Because at first I was like, yeah, I feel where Havoc coming from. There's really no excuse for you not to have insurance. But if you're listening to what Nori and Effin is saying, they not talking like, okay, yeah, I get that, but we're talking more of brotherhood, more of you know what I'm saying, like you're part of the team now type shit, like a fraternity or whatever. You know what I'm saying, like some order of shit where we all protect one another type shit, yada yada yada. Cool, but that's just difference of opinion. So I left that alone. Now this is the part that I said, wow, this nigga did throw stuff out. Do you remember when he said they gave him the Wu-Tang, he wasn't feeling the Wu-Tang?
Okay, yeah. Right, I remember.
All right, remember the part when the nigga was like, and I'm listening, everybody in my hood listening to it, and it's like, yo, I could have been listening to what they like and feeding it back to them. Remember that?
Right.
Nah, you got to go back to that part, listen to that part again.
Nah,
he said that, I said, nigga.
I remember that part.
Huh? You remember that part? When he said that part, that's when I was like, wow, so you basically saying you'll be an infiltrator.
Yeah, he was like, I could have been giving them data. He's like, I could have been giving them data.
Data, that's what he said, yeah. And what's data? Intel, right? But yo, when he said that, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga straight up said, he didn't say, I could have been listening to that shit and been like, yo, I could A&R, produce, and I could have took control over the whole Wu-Tang project. You know what I'm saying? Since I got the ear to the street. No, he said, basically, if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have been giving them niggas straight intel, or I would have sold out, and I would have been a fucking informer, chilling in the hood, and then running to the whitey and shit, letting them know what everybody in the hood likes. So when he said that, I was like, wow, that nigga sold out. He sold out. And so when he said that shit, I was thinking to myself, how many other black people, right? And we know it's a lot, but how many other black people done sold out? And I'm talking about sold out to the point where you don't even realize you sold out. Like, you make comments like that. Like, shit, I don't want more than 5 black people living around me. Like,
right,
wow.
yeah. But it's selling out too. Selling out too is like giving away your opportunity because, like, you know what I'm saying. I remember that part in the interview or whatever. But I was thinking like, okay, if you listening to something, you might not like it or whatever. But you in your hood, the dudes that's like you is loving this shit. So the opportunity is right there to be like, yo, let's work on some records with these cats. You know what I'm saying? Let's make some money. Let's bring these cats through and link that connection because the hood love them. So, and I'm already right there. Yep. So it was like you would think, you know what I'm saying, let's make some bread by linking in with them cats. You know what I'm saying? That would have been dope. I don't remember any mob joints with them.
Remember,
you know what I'm saying? So
the narrative isn't for black people to work together. The narrative is always for us to be divided.
And that's important to say.
It's always, because that's the narrative. The narrative is for us to leave us and to be them. That's the narrative. That's the book we read from. That's very important. That's the book we read from. We read from the book of fucking white supremacy. We read from the book of black people ain't shit and white people shit don't stink. And we believe that shit. That even to the point, I'll be watching my little, my comedy joints or whatever, and it's funny because I'll see these dudes and I'm like, wow, they have some serious color complex. They got some serious color complex. They got one dude, all he do is watch, all he do is deal with light-skinned girls, light-skinned, white, or biracial. So all his kids is light. You see what I'm saying? All of his kids is light. And the thing about it is, because we follow the narrative of the one-drop rule, you'll see black people who would go out there all day and fall over, trip over, get ran over by a car, just so they could have a baby with somebody light-skinned or with wavy hair or funny eyes, and then turn around and be like, you know what I'm saying, nah, man, you're pro-black, you know what I'm saying, that's for the black cause. And it's like, but I don't see nobody, everybody you deal with is lighter than a brown paper bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that about? You know what I'm saying? But it's like we don't see it. Like, just like with the Havoc comment. You don't even realize it no more. That when Havoc said that, he didn't realize what he said.
We don't.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't realize
that nigga said straight up. That nigga said I could have gave data back to them.
He said
nobody.
Data. He said data. That's crazy, but we do that all the time. So, it's something that we commonly say on the show is like, like killing those narratives, stopping those narratives. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like that's one of them. It's like that's a prime example. You know what I'm saying? It's like something we wouldn't pick up on. We got an opportunity there, but you know what I'm saying? We want to feed the information back to someone who gonna jerk you for it. You're not gonna get your just due. You're not gonna get your paper for that. They gonna eat. And, the history of that, especially in the music industry, of black artists getting raped, getting their whole catalogs getting taken from them. You know what I'm saying? And 360 deals currently. I mean, you would think like, you know what I'm saying? You would be thinking opposite, but the mind frame is crazy.
Oh yeah, the mind frame definitely is crazy, and it's strong. And if we don't do something, you know what I'm saying? Like if we don't change these goddamn narratives, like there's nothing else to even say about it. If we don't change these narratives and how we view ourselves, think about ourselves, how we view white people, think about them, it really don't matter what we do. We always gonna fall back into that Motisa bullshit, like in Posse, you know what I'm saying, with the Motisa tribe. we're going to fall back into that Motita shit because it's like we want to be them. You know what I'm saying? And as long as that's what the whole shit is, that you want to be somebody else, then you're never going to be you. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to be you. And that's the real sad part about the whole situation because I wish I could give a better example, but it's like we know something's wrong. We want to correct what's wrong, but you know what it is? All right, I got the perfect example. It's like when I was reading from the Leopold book, right? And they had that king from Congo. I think his name was Alfonso or something like that. And he was saying, how we don't want no more slave traders to come in because they're already taking too many of my people out of the Congo. And he was like, but you could bring in the missionaries and the teachers.
Right.
Not realizing the teachers is brainwashing the people, and the missionaries are the ones selling them into slavery. So on one hand, we want the selling of black African people into slavery to stop, but then on the other hand, we keep allowing the system that is perpetuating the shit on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just retarded. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think it's just fun for us to break the narratives because, and again, if you can't break it yourself, break it with your child. A real good test of that is what, Sunday when Christmas comes. How many of these so-called pro-black, that's right, brother, is going to be sitting around with a big-ass glowing tree in their house, hugging their kids, while their kids talking about, look what Santa got me this dog. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to teach my baby that. Okay. All right. What do you think they're teaching their baby?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even front, like, you know what I mean? I'll be doing I don't necessarily, I don't celebrate Christmas, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got this shit around, they be having Christmas dinners. I'm not the type of person like, I don't fuck with Christmas. You know, I'll be right in there like, right, get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, I try to teach my son, like, I ain't no try. I teach him like, hey, look, listen, none of this is real. This is shit that people follow. You know, he like to get his little gift or whatever. He know it's coming from us, like, because I used to tell his mother, like, I'd be like, Charlie, like, listen, you can't lie to them. You know what I mean? You gotta tell them the truth. And it's like these little small lies, like the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, and all of that shit. When they figure out that you lying to them, it's a disappointment. And I know that from personal experience. It was like, I was a kid like, oh, Santa Claus. You know, you wake up, the gifts is there. You're like, oh, shit, you ain't really thinking of the logic. But then when I seen my parents, they got sloppy with the gifts, and I'm looking like, oh, hold up. Now I was kind of tight, like, damn. Then you realize people will lie to you, even if it's subconsciously. You're like, people are front on you. It's like, nah, teach your kid the truth from the beginning. But, yeah, people's doing that. I mean, if you're going to do your gifts, don't front about it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you really got to teach your kid. You got to understand that it's important for your kid to know what's really going on out here. You know what I'm saying? Not just, let me throw the tree up. You know, teach them the economic aspect. Like, you got to spend for this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that go into, you know, this bullshit called Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you're right, though. There's a lot of us who do that, you know what I mean? We're going to front and then just go out and spend. So it's a lot of shit that we got to kill, man. Got to kill, you know what I'm saying?
Funny thing is, I was talking to my son about it because I was going to get my herb and shit. So, you know, I'm driving around, seeing all the lights up. So, so you know, me and him, we just talking and stuff, you know, so I always have the volume down and we just drive and just have, you know, English talks. So we just talking and stuff. So he goes, we 4. So he goes, so something I just asked him. I said, I said, you ever heard of Santa Claus? So he's like, no. So I said, oh. So he was like, so he goes, is he the one that gives the gifts like that? So I'm like, yeah. Ain't no Santa Claus. You know that, right? He was like, it's no Santa Claus? I said, nah. He said, so why people say it's a Santa Claus? So I was like, I don't know. People are crazy. They just be making stuff up and following stuff. So then he started laughing. He said, oh, I almost believed it. I said, you almost believed it? He was like, yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, you know,
and children, they like pure what they thought. So he in his mind is like, oh, that's crazy, yo. That's really like people really think. I can just imagine the confusion in his head. Like you just explained something to him, and he like, damn, that's crazy. Oh, they almost got me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
Almost got me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have them understanding what attitude. See, the crazy part is.
No, I was just gonna say it don't take a lot. It's not like you gotta be out here with fucking dashikis on every day. You know what I'm saying? Doing all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them the fucking meta and all of that shit. It's really not that. I always teach my son like, yo.
Here you go. Let me go lay it out, right? So your child comes to you and says, Dad, in school they said that there's a Santa Claus. Is that true? And you're like, hold on, son. I knew one day we'll have this talk. And you go upstairs and shit, you put the dashiki on. You start playing your fucking African music. You lighting incense and shit. You coming out there being a big ass drum and shit. And the son like, what the fuck is going on? Like, now it is time for you to know who you are as a black man in America. You from St. Louis.
You know what I mean? It's like I remember like. My son, like one day he came. It was a few years ago, a couple years ago, whatever. He coming home or whatever, and he started saying that he's brown. Like I'm brown. Mm-hmm. He wasn't like he'll just say that. I heard him say it. I'm like, I asked his mother about it. I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, he be saying that. I told him he's brown. I'm like, he ain't brown, he's black. So I go tell him, you know. So I'm like, you're not brown, you're black. You're a black boy. You're gonna be a black man or whatever. So I always do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we leaving or I'm picking him up or something, I give him a flower. I'm like, what are you? He'd be like, black man. You know what I'm saying? He'll be doing that. Or just do, you know, something simple. We joke around with it or whatever.
No, so, it was funny. I'm dealing with that with Ross, too, because he does the same thing because he like. So it's funny because it's two things pop up in my head. At the time, because he's 4, so at the time, we teaching him colors and shit. So I don't want to fuck up his head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then at the other part, I'm like, every time he be like, I'm not black, I'm brown, right? Then it's like a little more pops up on my shoulder. He be like, ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the young kid knows he's not black. Right. You know what I'm saying? So every time I'm just laughing, be like,
yeah. But see, you know, again, it's like you don't have to go drill that into him to where it's like he got to learn through the confusion of brown color and brown skin versus black. You know what I'm saying?
It's the narrative. That's the book. In this book that we're in called America, we're black. So regardless of how I don't, like you said, I don't have to sit there and be like, no, listen, you ain't going upstairs until you say you black. You know what I'm saying? No, you ain't got to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? All you literally got to do, I just laugh and be like, oh, okay, because guess what? This narrative, you're going to be black. So I don't have to push and say nothing.
Right.
We're gonna get to it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to it. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But it's not hard. Like it's a basic thing that you're making. It's not no different.
But the example I was saying with my son, And he was talking to his mother. Now, he always, like, you know, I'll be talking to her, and she like, yeah, your son, man, we be having some in-depth talks. I'll be like, me and him just have regular general talk. We would be joking and doing stuff like that or whatever. So she was like, man, we was talking, and he was like, he said something. They was talking to him about, she was talking to him about God or something like that. So he was like, well, if I die, I want to come back a black person, a black man or something. You know, something to that effect. Something crazy. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never talked to that concept to him before. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he go to his grandmother's, like his mom people's, they be going to church sometimes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they probably be talking about God and shit to him or whatever he pick up. So that was, I guess, the gist of their conversation. But he said something like, you got black power. He got a black mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they were talking about, he still want to be black. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was super funny to me. Like, how do you formulate that? But at the same time, he still wanted to be black. And, you know, and I'm thinking in my head, like, yeah, that's those little, you a black man. So don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Just little things like that where it's not really nothing crazy that you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
We have to develop what it is and take hold to what it is to be black in America. We got to stop trying to be defined all the goddamn time. And even me saying defined, you're gonna have somebody like, let's say, a more saying, yeah, but the white man named you black, and you taking on the white man. Ain't nobody got time for that dumb shit. Because like I keep telling black people, if I go to China, and I see a black person there, I can say, hey, where's the other black people? And they're going to say, oh, follow me. But if I go to China and I see a black person there and I say, hey, brother, where's the other Asiatic Moors, and where's the Hebrew Israelites, where's the Nuwapians, and you see what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be looking like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? The other black people.
Right.
Oh, all right, come over here. Yo, where the black people hang out at over here? You know what I'm saying? If you go to Peru and shit like that, and you don't see black people there, if you see one, yo, where the rest of the black people at? Oh, let me show you where we hang out at. That's unity, if you ask me. And we unifying by our skin. Yeah, but how can we unify by our skin if black people come in all different type of shades? All these shades are classified as one, black. Then they want to start bringing out pictures of various black. So this person right here, black, nigga, I'm trying to wonder if you're black. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you fighting against the concept of black. You want to try to break down all this. We know what black is, and we know what it means to be black. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no white boy could just walk in and say, hey, I feel like I'm black, and I want to be down. No, that's not. We know who black is. So we shouldn't even have to question it. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that simple concept, it's going to be easier for when you're raising your child up, like you're saying with your son. So how old is your son, Smoke?
8.
So you got an 8-year-old now with a black pro-black consciousness about himself. He know who he is. So as he ain't walking around angry, getting in trouble. No, he's doing his work, doing his school, behaving as a regular 8-year-old who is conscious of his blackness.
Right.
That's the next step. And now this 8-year-old who's conscious of his blackness is now living in this world from 8 years old with his eyes open of who he is. Doing what he's doing under a father who's conscious. Now, when this child gets in the teens, in the 20s, the child will be in a further advancement of what the child's trying to do than we were in our teens, being lost in the street. You see what I'm saying? So that's the progress there. Now with this child now, with a stronger understanding of his blackness, now become who he becomes and have children now, his blackness is going to be stronger than your blackness because he's growing up under that. So that's his reality. That's how I grew up. You see what I'm saying? So now when your child have a child and raising that child under blackness, that child going to be stronger because it's going to be understood like how Chinese are Chinese and Puerto Ricans are Puerto Ricans and Mexicans is Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Things of this nature. Right. That's how we used to be about being black. And that's how we have to get back to being. You see what I'm saying? Unapologetically. No shame, nothing but pride, and understanding that a better you is a better representation and advancement of the race. That's all we used to say. That's all I used to hear back in the 90s. The advancement of the race, the advancement of the race, the advancement of the race. That shit died by the time I got into my later teens. Yes, man.
That shit been dead. That shit been dead.
Yeah. No, that shit been dead for a while. For 20, I'm talking about because I was in my later teens. I ain't hear it no more, for sure. But in my earlier coming up, I guess because of the circle I was around, I did used to hear that all the time. Advance the race, advance the race. But yeah, by the time I got older, yeah, you didn't hear advance the race and you ain't hear save for a rainy day. Them two things I ain't hear no more.
Send your shit, nigga.
Yeah, none of that.
That's all. So you be saying now, cats talking about spending money, putting up stacks, putting it to their head like they talking and shit on the phone. All type of crazy shit.
Yeah. So guess what that is? That ain't nothing but a digitalized version of keeping up with the Joneses. Mm-hmm. That's all that is. That ain't nothing but your parents used to tell you when you was a kid, don't keep up with the Joneses. Now, everything on television and everything you listen to is about keeping up with the Joneses. So now a kid will save up money for a whole year just to buy a $1,000 belt. You see, a boy at that, not even a girl. A boy. You know what I'm saying? You want niggas looking at his waist. Look at my waist. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. So peep this though. So to go back to the whole Anglo Saxon Supremacy, right? So they got this shit called the NADRID of race relations. NADIR. NADRI, I guess. I don't know. So the NADIR. Nader. I don't know. Of race relations. Anglo Saxon supremacy over other European whites, Asian Americans, and African Americans promoted by the sons of Confederate veterans. Anglo Saxon supremacy veterans. This document shows how the Sons of Confederacy worked to deny civil rights not only to African Americans but non-Anglo-Saxon European immigrants and Asian Americans. Right? This is a whole shit. It's called "Give Us Back the Constitution of Our Fathers." All of this shit I'm telling you right now is all the shit that we're listening to right now from the alt-right, and these crackers standing up and talking their shit. All of this shit is the same shit, all right?
Yeah, coming to your local universities, talking they talk.
Yeah.
Recruit.
And just to show you another point, too, about black people having to teach their children about that black pride and who they are as black people, who these white people are, what's our relationship. You see what I'm saying? How to protect and defend yourself and understand that we are at war, have been at war with these damn crackers for over 500 years. You have to do that. Why you have to do that? Because they're doing that. How do you know that they're doing that? Because not only, like I told you, this document comes from 1787 up until now. So you could do the math, okay? From 1787 up until now, this has been their agenda. The thing that white people, black people kept saying about white people is this, Mo. I can't wait until the old white people die so racism can die. Because these new white people, they can't be racist because they're growing up listening to rap music and appreciating rap culture, and it's hard for you to hate a people when you listen and appreciate and indulge in their culture. I said, what nigga would think like that?
You know that's some bullshit. It's some bullshit because look at college and look at all of these racially charged incidents that happen in college. I mean, and it ain't just recently; it happens all the time. You know what I mean? People putting swastikas on black students' doors, and you know what I mean, things of that nature. And I was just thinking, like, who's to say that's the result of these alt-right groups going into the universities? Because when we talked about the Spencer guy, was Robert Spencer. When we talked about him, and he was talking about his strategy that he spoke on, or the strategy of their group, is that they go to these universities and rent the public room, so to speak, that's open to the public that they can rent. And who's to say that, if you're on the university, of course, it's gonna leak over to actual students that are, going in there and receiving those messages.
It's not leaking. That shit is okay. So this is how black people got to realize come to white people, right? No, it's not even Twitter. This is what black people have to realize when they come to white people. When we put up that black fist saying black power, they put up their Nazi salute hand. You dig what I'm saying?
Well, so.
When we listening to our black leaders talk, they have white leaders too. When we talking all that pro-blackness, build ourselves up, strengthen the race, guess what? They got theirs too. So when we listen to theirs, we can't then get offended and butthurt. Because when they listen to ours and get hurt, what we do? We laugh. Oh, look at this cracker. Oh, you mad now because the truth came out, huh? Okay. Okay. Hey, somebody told me years ago, we'll make you laugh or make you cry. We'll make you laugh or make you cry. You know what I'm saying? And we'll laugh when we rubbing shit in white people's face. But then when they pick shit up and rub it in our face, we start speaking racist. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't have it both ways. The reason, okay, so peep this too, Simone, because I'm gonna show you another example of how racist shit works. I don't know if you ever heard this, but you know what? Maybe I shouldn't tell this story. Nah, fuck it. I'm gonna tell the story, but it's gonna be very unprofessional because I can't remember some of the key information, so you can look it up. But the way the story goes, it goes like this. This is during the time of slavery, and a certain time of the year, the blacks can then play the role of the oppressor, and then the oppressor then will play the role of the slave, the enslaved. So the white dude, the black dude now here, or maybe, I don't know if the white dudes play the role of the enslaved then. All I know is the blacks was able to play the role of the oppressor though. And the whole shit was they got to dress up and act like the white man and walk around and boss people around and all kind of shit like that. Right. But guess what? When that day was over, you know what I'm saying? The roles reverse again. And the white dude gets back his power and the blacks go back to their role of submission. So the whole point is that's how we are. Instead of us building our economy up so we can strengthen ourselves as a people, we want to listen to liberal whites rockabye us to sleep and convince us of equality and other foo-foo-la fairy tale shit, and we never built our shit up. So when we was talking shit to white people when they were down, wounded, and discombobulated, we just kept talking shit. That's right. This is the tanning of America. Yeah, America about to get blacker and blacker and blacker. The white man know he's about to be eliminated soon and all that shit. We never built our shit up. So now that the white people getting bigger, now we get nervous. Because we know they can come in and change shit. You see what I'm saying? Right. We got to start talking shit. We got to start doing shit. Go ahead, Smoke.
That's real. Got to get to it, man. You got to get to it. But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, for me, is like, we got to expect that shit. All of this crazy Nazi wave hand or whatever they call that shit, Nazi salute, we gotta expect that. We gotta expect the crackers walking around talking they talk. Trump. I mean, like, we should. That's really just distraction. You know what I'm saying? It's like we should be focused in on what we gotta do at the end of the day, because the talking is just the talking. You know what I'm saying? We done got a lot of beautiful lectures, Million Man March. We haven't had it all, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that we can refer back to, you know, historical shit that, research has done uncovered, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. We got all that. But it's time to really just change the narrative, change that amount, you know, the thought process for black people so we can build our economy and move forward. You know what I'm saying? It's about mobilizing and shit. And so keeping up with the alt-right topic, you see them mobilizing. We go back to Robert Spencer, and you know, you can research him and their group. Forget the name of the group, but they're actually out there going, having these gatherings, having these rallies, having these dinners, having fundraisers, creating books, selling literature. They're doing this. They're doing this with the infrastructure that's here in America. We should be doing the same thing. Mobilizing. We should really be capitalizing off of the talk, because that's really what it's about. If you're gonna say, all right, I'm into, you know, the black power and so forth, it's about capitalizing that and using that to help, you know, jumpstart the economy. So yeah, man.
But they can't. They can't, because I'm gonna tell you, the whole thing is this. And this is what I want black people to understand. If your idea can't generate you money, then you got to think, in my opinion, you need to rethink your idea. Because I get the whole thing about, I got this great idea, but I have to get $500,000 to get it started. To me, that shit is not a good idea. Then, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, a good idea will have you being able to generate this bread. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you say, well, let me do these two ideas to generate some money for this idea or whatever like that.
Right.
The reason why I say that is because I feel like we like to shoot too goddamn high sometimes. Like Umar with the fucking mega fucking university he want to do for the whole black community around the world. You know what I'm saying? Instead of starting locally and just or doing something online, having people follow that and then donating towards that and then from there build up. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to do that. We'll be looking at a lot of these black economic shows and shit, and they'll be talking about, right, and this is how you can build wealth, and you can get this amount of money from loans from banks, or this is how you can clean up your credit by consolidating debts and all kind of. I'm like, all of that shit sounds like somebody who want to do shit quick. You know what I'm saying? You have to start at the ground floor, root, bottom, trying to get your idea. You see what I'm saying? And my whole thing is if you can't get a penny, then you can't get $1. Because it takes 99 pennies to get to that $1. You see what I'm saying? Once that last penny, boom, now you're in dollar range. So it's like your ideas have to work just like that. You have to build that shit up. And we're not building nothing from the ground up no more. We want the building already. You know what I'm saying? We don't want, like back in the day, Smoke, you'll see like in the 80s or early 90s movies, you always saw the kid working on his dad's old Mustang, 67 Mustang or some shit like that. And, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end,
dad come pat him on the back. Hand me the wrench.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't see that shit no more. Now you see 5-year-olds driving around in fucking Maserati. So it's like, where's that build up, that work? There is none. So when we trying to figure out how do we build the black economy or how do we build the economy or build ourselves up as a race, we keep on thinking, well, if we all come together, that's not going to happen. We're already together. Yeah. We're here. We're stuck here in America. Yeah. So we're together.
You can monetize anything, man. It's just the idea of how you're going to do it. Because I'm like, my son, he like watching YouTube. So, he's going there to YouTube, whatever. At first, it used to be like the little cartoons that he watch on TV. We'll try to get them on YouTube. But then, the licensing, they don't got the cartoon. You know what I'm saying? So he watching other videos. I got to pay attention when he watching. He going there. So my son, he into Legos. He love Legos. Build it up. He'll take them apart, make another Lego. He love them shit. So I'm like, I'm going to check the video with him. So he always used to be like, oh, Dad, I don't want you to see what I'm watching. And I'm like, let me see what you watching. Let me go in there. And he watching another kid put together a Lego. So, they had like the time lapse, thing, and the little kid is talking, and I'm like, yo. So you watching the kid put together another Lego. I'm like, damn. He could do that same shit, make a video. If he wanted to do that, that could be something he's doing. So it's like the $20 I spent on a Lego, he could record that. Most people got a computer. Most computers got a camera on it. You know what I'm saying? Camera's cheap, $10, $20 or whatever. Tape them, put that on there, and see the thing is that with YouTube, it gets money. So I'm looking at the views, 20-something thousand views on. So I'm like, damn. So there's a bunch of little kids watching other little kids put together a Lego. You might not be a millionaire off of it, but that's income. You know what I'm saying? That's something you could teach your kids. So it's like, all right. You make these views. You do what you're liking. He's making money off something he likes, and so that's gonna transcend when he get older. So when he a teenager, he like, I like basketball, so I might be out here selling socks or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Making money, hustling off of the things that he do. That's like a natural thing. You know what I mean? You like movies, you watch a lot of movies, bootleg them or something. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of ways you could, you know what I'm saying? You could monetize, and the thought process, it's not difficult to acquire by, but it's easy to just not think that way. You know what I'm saying? So, for the listener, it's not something you want to think like you got to be the smartest or you got to have some type of degree or anything like that. It's like we're in the era of technology. So, you can sell things online to across country, internationally. So, there's a lot of options out there. So sometimes, you could just think out of the box instead of the normal, I'm going to get this loan and, I'm going to open up a building. I'm going to have, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we could just think outside of that because we got a lot of resources, mainly the internet, in which you could promote your, your products or whatever. So sometimes just, take a little out of the box thought, you know what I mean?
Right. See, so I'm looking at this thing with the whole Anglo Saxon Supremacy thing, right? So about the whole Confederacy stuff.
Right.
Yo, this is what I advise black people to do. It's all cool to know what Imhotep and other black people did in history. That's terrific, man. Pass that on to your child. Y'all better start studying up on these crackers and their history. That's the only way to know how they operate, how they move. It's to understand the code words they use. You dig? Yeah. So I'm gonna read a little something from this right here, all right? And yeah, let me see where I'm gonna start. Yeah. Here we go. Alright, so it goes. So this is like the Congress and stuff talking. So there goes, give us back the Constitution of our fathers is the ringing cry of Mr. Holman. That is a cry which can't be taken up by that which can be taken up by every patriotic man and woman. So y'all pay attention when you hear these crackers run around talking about the Constitution, and all of that. All of that give us our country, where we want to follow the rules of the Constitution. All of this
Make America great.
Yeah, all
Make America great shit. All in the same umbrella.
That's all the same shit. We take pleasure. Oh, wait. Let me get straight into the whole shit. All right, boom. Right. All right, okay. So it goes. The fact that the white people of the South are almost wholly Anglo-Saxon, with the Anglo-Saxon love of home and local government developed during many centuries, has a forceful meaning for the safety of the entire country. It is worth repeating the statement we have several times made that General Grant, even during his lifetime, saw the dangers which we now confront, and said to members of his family that if the government is to be saved, it would, in his opinion, be saved by the Anglo-Saxonism of the South. By the Anglo-Saxonism of the South, which is what we call now racism of the South. You see what I'm saying? Because Anglo-Saxons is who? White people. So that'd be whiteism. And what is whiteism? That's racism. You see what I'm saying? This is common talking language. Yeah, this is common talking language. And you know how I got this? How I ran across the whole English? I was looking at the Oliver Stone documentary about the untold truth, no, stories about the United States. So the part was about Roosevelt, Truman, and Wallace. So they had to do Wallace during that same time. He's standing over there like, yo, we wanna basically abolish the isms, make everything equal, no matter your race, your gender, and shit like that. And was like, you know what I'm saying? And yo, the whole fucking crowd unanimously cheer. Everybody, like, you couldn't even fucking hear yourself, right? Once they found that out, you know, the people behind the stage, they start pulling them strings and shit like that, end up playing a funky political game and shit, and to get Truman in or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we see that shit, it's the story's hit. You know what I'm saying? So when we sit over here and we see the game being ran now, none of this is new. None of this is new. When we see these things happen, we're supposed to say, oh, okay, they're using that 1980s tactic. Well, this that 1960s shit right here. All right, we know how to, okay, we definitely got to get our guns up. Get our guns because they're bringing in that 60s bullshit. You see what I'm saying? That's how we need to be up on our game. We're not supposed to sit around and shit talking about, but we're not going to put no agenda out there. We're not going to try to talk to Trump then. We're not going to try to fucking, we're just going to sit on the sideline. We're going to scream and protest with the liberal whites. No. No. You don't do that because the racist white is establishing white America for white people. So as long as you white, you're going to benefit under that system, whether you don't agree on the presidency or not. So when your silly black ass is saying you against it, you against yourself. That's it. The only people out there fighting against Trump, if you pay close attention, is Muslims, gays, and immigrants. That is it. Black people out there fighting, that's because we just followers. We followers. You see what I'm saying? This is a system. This book is set up and designed a certain way. And we keep on falling into the book part of being the victim because they keep showing some type of power and victimhood inside the story. When we need to change the fucking narrative of the story. We need to step away from W.E.B. Du Bois and take another look at what Booker T. Washington was saying about economics. Straight up. We
definitely got to get that economic plan going. And you know, for the listeners, I had mentioned Richard Spencer earlier. The group, you know, that he reps or whatever, he's the president of, is the National Policy Institute. So if you want to like research him or research that group and you know what they're about or whatever, it's the National Policy Institute.
All right. So this is a part from the same pamphlet. Give us back the Constitution of our fathers. I salute you of the blood royal of the Anglo Saxon race, the blood royal of our liberties, and the Constitution. I, too, am of the blood royal, the son of the Southern soldier, born in the hills of North Carolina, of the revolutionary stock and the Christian parents, but a Georgia volunteer, Company E, 14th Georgia Thomas Brigade, Wilcox Division, A.P. Hill's Corps, one of Stonewall Jackson's men. I give you, men of the Constitution and the Confederacy, sons and the daughters of the Constitution and of the Confederacy, fellows or of the Constitution and the Confederacy. I have taken as my subject tonight a theme that will tell you of the deeper significance of the greater monument of this day, and it is my hope to unfold before you the vision and the living, breathing embodiment of the sublimest memorial of all time, and eternal vindication of the men who wore the gray. In past geologic eras, due to the simultaneous depression of the Coast Plain region and the elevation of the Piedmont Plateau and the Appalachian areas, the Archean rocks, the oldest physical structure of the earth, were barred to the weather. Okay, let's just talking about this. All right, rich inheritance. Okay. All right, let me just get straight into the death slavery part. All right. So I'll go to slavery agitation. Under its covenant and inspired by the lives of the great men who framed it, their sons lived in the strength and fortitude of their own righteousness and in the love and admonition of the Lord until there came industrial changes whereby certain people found themselves with enough money and time to initiate and carry on an agitation against the institution of slavery. Everyone familiar with the study of the human race will know that the evils of the African slave trade have existed throughout all history and that every nation has at some time shared in them, England being one of the worst of all offenders. Therefore, it was but natural that the traffic in slaves should have flourished in New England. Due, however, to the limited agricultural region and the rigorous climate in the New England states, the holding and working of slaves there provided both impracticable and unprofitable, and the slave barons began exploiting the South and her agricultural possibilities as the logical outlets of the slave traffic, with the results well known to history that within the lapse of comparatively few years, the slaves of the states were held and worked by Southern planters. But I want you and the world to know tonight that no Southern man and no Southern ship was ever engaged in the transportation of slaves, and that never a Southern bottom transported a single Negro from his African home to America or any other shore. They say Georgia, as a colony, founded and represented the first attempt of any government to end the slave trade, and the Constitution of Georgia, as a state, effectively prohibited its infamies. I want the world to know again that there never was but one nation in the world that frowned upon and in its constitution forbade the African slave trade from the very day of its storm-cradled birth until it went down with spotless records on the field of Appomattox, and the nation was the Confederate States of America. However, the Constitution of the United States was a covenant entered into by the representatives of the North and South, and it established at one and the same time the institution of slavery and white citizenship, as held by the Supreme Court of the United States in the Dred Scott case in 1857, to wit, that the Constitution recognized slaves as property, that Congress was bound to protect slavery, and that no slave or the descendant of a slave could be a citizen of the United States or have any standing in the federal court. I mention this not in defense of slavery, but that you may know that slavery and white supremacy and white citizenship were of the woof and warp of the Constitution of the United States. And I want you further to know that less than 10% of the people of the South owned slaves at the outbreak of the war. So I'm going to put a stop right there. So you hear that shit, Smoke? This is now, we're talking white history and white documentation and white people teaching white people. You see what I'm saying? We have no idea what we're up against. We have no idea what we're up against. You see what I'm saying? Because we walking around with our eyes blind to shit. We need to be trying to build ourselves up. Straight up.
Yeah,
so
we ain't got
crazy
no choice. We ain't got no choice but to go up. This shit crazy, yo.
We looking crazy out here in these streets. Right now, it's saying, basically, this is how this doctrine reads to me. New England, because you got to remember, America was just a colony of England and shit. So, because they was into slavery, that's how enslaved Africans came upon the shores of America. Which also, that statement plays into the Moors' stories also. You understand what I'm saying? If you really get that. Of coming in, of being already here in America, the Moors.
Yeah, they always say that we wasn't coming through like slaves, like on the ships and shit.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So even in this doctrine right here, what they saying, and like I said, this is 17 something. You know what I'm saying? So, no, this ain't 17 something, but this is what is this? I might have to get into when this is read. 1914. This was written in 1914. So this was written in 1914. So the way it sounded like to me, they saying, okay, so now we already know slavery started up north. We already know that. But because it was unprofitable and the conditions up there, you can't really even farm like that, the slavery shit was pushed down south. And once it got pushed down south, that's when they added into the Constitution, now, black people are slaves, you guys now is considered white, and y'all citizens. You see what I'm saying? And this is where white supremacy comes from, because now it lifted these poor white people up, saying, y'all now are better than them. So they like, well, this is in the Constitution. You see what I'm saying? And if you remember from the phone call from a caller from an early show, who said the problem with black people is what? We worry about what's right and what's wrong. They worry about what's legal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember.
That's why they keep screaming, it's in the Constitution. We want to live by the laws of the Constitution. And we have no idea what that means. We have no idea what that means. Slavery started because of law. Law. That's how it started, because of law. So, you know, that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
So.
We definitely spoke on them laws. You know what I'm saying? What was it, the SC slave laws and a bunch of other joints, so that's real.
Yeah, we'll see what we don't understand is what happened.
So it's written, it's on the books.
Yeah, all these sisters, all of this shit is written down. They pass this information on to their kids. They teach that shit to their kids. You know what I'm saying? They understand what the whole purpose of what they doing. It's us that don't get it. That's who don't get it. It's us that don't get it. We the ones that's walking around and shit with our eyes closed, you know what I'm saying? While everybody else understand what's going on. That's what we don't understand. That's why, like, even like when it comes to police, when we run around talking about, oh, good police. Yeah, but what is a good police? Ask a cop, what is the definition of a good cop? You see what I'm saying? So once you understand what the definition of a good cop is, to say the majority of cops are good cops, that's not a compliment. Good cops are the cops that won't come to anything. Huh?
It ain't good for us. I said it ain't good for us. If you're a cop of this.
Yeah, it ain't good for us. Look, that's like cop
lingo. That's police lingo.
Yeah, that's cop lingo. Yo, look, that's like if in the black community the lingo is she a good wife if you let her beat if you're allowed to beat her ass and cheat on her and she ain't gonna say nothing, she's gonna keep her mouth closed and that's it, and she'll stay in the house all day. And you like, yo, I got me a good one. And then you keep hearing everybody, yeah, I got me a good one. Yeah, I got me a good one. Then one day you're like, what does that mean? I got me a good one. And then you finding out, oh, that's what that means. You ain't going to want to say that no more. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know no better, and you like, yo, I got me a good one, you might be thinking like, oh, he must say he got him a good woman, man. Like, she really, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. You got to understand all of the codes and the things of this nature. But the only way for you to understand that also is not just reading up on Booker T and W.B. Du Bois and shit like that. Maybe that's the reason why a lot of black people don't feel that they feel that emptiness, and when they always ask the question, like, so what's next? Now that I read that, what's next? What's next? Because they're reading stories of the people that's trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So maybe... Also, to balance it out, read the story of the people that conquered you. Read the story of them. Maybe reading their story might have you like, oh, these dirty motherfuckers. You know what? I think I know. Okay, I see it. I don't want to support nothing they get into no more. I don't want to buy none of their shit. I want to be so far away, economically away from this shit, because I get them now. I know who they are. I understand their agenda. I'm not even angry. I'm not even mad. Because, see, that's the whole thing. That's what happened with me. Because I grew up pro-black, Pan-African with my eyes open as a kid, I grew up hating white people. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But as I got older, I can't hate white people no more. Because I say to myself, am I going to hate the stripper from stripping or the whore from hoeing? You know what I'm saying? I know who these people are. They only doing what's in their nature. So I got to say to myself, how do I protect myself from them? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go over there now and see I don't know. I can't even think of a good example. Like they're who they are. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that, you just say to yourself, like, okay, cool. I got my eye on you. All right? Protect yourself. You know what I'm saying, at all times. You know what I'm saying? And then you go on your way, they go on their way.
Yeah, it's like you know, it's like you playing cards and you know what a nigga got in his hand. You know what I'm saying? That's how they is. You know what they coming with. You know how they are. You know what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So you should know how to play around. So you know what they got. You know what it is with them.
You should have the upper advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should have the upper advantage. Straight up. You should have.
To me, that's like part of the. And that, to me, that's like part of saying you conscious. You know what I'm saying? To know, like, all right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to take a step further, you know what I'm saying? It's like the thing is like we had that element of surprise. You know what I'm saying? We had that element of doubt. We had that element of they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, while nobody's paying attention, you should be moving through and making waves. And that's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we got a lot of people who made it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who could take that advice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's like, let's do what we got to do. It's more, less pumping our chests out and more work, you know what I'm saying? Because I notice a lot, too, is like a lot of times we want to make it known, like, yo, black, because I'm all black, I ain't performing nothing, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not hating on that at all. But a lot of times you make your opportunity harder. And I don't want to say that, either. I don't want to say that either. But it's some people that's in positions where they could be like, to spook that stuff out the door, kind of, sort of. Let's really leak the situation. Like, what you learn in corporate America, bring it back. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. I just think that, conscience is about, it ain't so much a look. You know what I'm saying? It's how you move it. You know what I'm saying? But it's what I really want to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, moving silence and violence. You know what I'm saying? Just stop opening your mouth all the time. Stop, all this fucking rah-rah shit. The Chinese ain't do that. I'm 36. Right. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that's out there and around the same age, y'all remember how Chinese was back when y'all was young. Them Chinese wasn't moving like they're moving right now. You see what I'm saying? It was moving mad humble in them streets. Now, these Chinese riding around in Mercedes, Range Rovers, running over motorcycle bikes and shit in New York, you know what I'm saying? Getting their cops acquitted. Getting their cops who got convicted of murdering black men in the police, in the Project Stairways, getting them off from jail because of political power they got now. You know what I'm saying? Like they moving up. They didn't broadcast. They didn't run around screaming, talking about what they about to do. They did it. The Latinos and shit like that, you starting to see their neighborhoods cleaning up. You starting to see their crime and shit decreasing and shit. You starting to see their wealth increasing. Their cable networks and shit building the fuck up and getting bigger and bigger, not selling out to a white corporation and shit. Yeah, it wasn't like that back in the day. They didn't have pull like that back in the day. But guess what? Guess who still don't got it? The person who keep chasing and want to be in the shadow of their master. We got to change the narrative. But peep this, Smoke. I'm going to read something out of here from that book, from his brother, the Keenan Booker dude who wrote that Kicked Out of Heaven book. So they're talking about in Europe, and they're talking about peasants live. Mm-hmm. So they say, so just to give you a psychology of how they treated their own people and who you're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? About 9/10 of the people were peasants, farmers or village laborers. Only a few of these were free men. Peasants who were not bound to a lord and who paid only a fixed rent for their land. The vast majority, so that's the peasants, right? They were the ones that wasn't bound to a lord, and they just paid rent. But the vast majority were serfs and villains. Theoretically, the villains had wider legal rights than the serfs and fewer duties to the lords. There was little real difference, however. A peasant village housed perhaps 10 to 60 families. Each family lived in a dark, dank hut made of wood or wicker, and other little nasty shit. They had all kind of chickens and shit living all in their hut and all that shit. Blah, blah, blah. All the peasants worked to support their lord. They gave about half their time to work in his fields, cut timber, haul water, spin and weave, repair his buildings, and wait upon his household. In war, the men had to fight at his side. Besides labor, peasants had to pay taxes to their lord in money or produce. Remember I told you, right, Smoke, that Walking Dead Season 7 and a whole lot white supremacy, right? Remember I said that, right? They had to give a tithe to the church, even every 10th egg, chaff of wheat, lamb, chicken, and all other. Let me repeat that shit. Hold on. Besides labor, peasants had to pay taxes to their lord in money or produce. They had to give a tithe to the church. So they had to pay taxes to their lord, right? And they had to pay tithes to the church. 10th egg and all of this shit. Famines were frequent. Plagues depleted the livestock. The peasants' lots was hard, but most historians considered it little worse than that of peasants today because of the many holidays or holy days in the Middle Ages. Peasants actually labored only about 260 days a year. They spent their holidays in church festivals, watching wandering troops of jugglers, journeying to mysteries of miracle plays, or engaging in wrestling, bowling, cockfight, apple bobs, or dancing.
Basketball, football, amazing.
But yo, this is their civilization. We living in their world. That's why we can't get out of it, because we're in their world trying to be free in a story that they created where we're always gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta get out their world. The world they used to have the Chinese in was the big teeth, slanted eye, and you know what I'm saying, kung fung fu type. Right. You know what I'm saying? Chinese shit. You know what I'm saying? Come to the lab. You don't even see them images no more. You don't see those images no more. They changed something. But black people, guess what happens to black people? You can now hear nigga on regular TV. But you ain't going to hear faggot. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to hear nigga now. So it's like we're and this is the whole shit. We're not creating our image. We keep saying the same stupid shit. I don't know if Trump is going to have the right plan and solution for the black community. Why? Where's yours? You see what I'm saying? Where's yours? Why are you asking somebody else? Okay, so here's my example. You go now and you say to your son, yo, here's some polka dot pants and here's some striped shirt. So he go to school, he get laughed at. Here's some polka dot pants, here's some striped shirts. He go to school, he get laughed at. He like, Dad, why you don't buy me better clothes? Why you don't buy me stuff that I like? Why you don't buy me things that will make me look flyer in school? So you like, yo, you know what? How about you tell me what it is that you want? And then he like, I don't know. So then you go back to buy him polka dot and his striped shirt. So and that's how we are. We're complaining about shit, but we're not giving the solution. We acting like, and then here's the other part here. Yo, if we just pull our money together, because every year we spend $1.7 trillion, and I'm thinking to myself, we talk about this stupid ass $1.1 trillion like it's a lot of fucking money. $1.1 trillion, but if you got Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and Carl Icahn or some shit inside the fucking room, their money eclipsed all the black people money that we spend in the fucking year. So, like, what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? We asking people who spending money to consume us the loose water that we supposed to be circulating in our shit to consolidate and do something. I never hear none of these smart people, these Boyce Watkins and none of them, say we should go to the business community and ask them to ... since they're the ones generating money. No, you're going to ask the people that's supposed to be circulating their money. I'm not going to ask a crackhead, basically is what I'm saying. Yo, look at all that money y'all niggas be spending out here in the hood, Joe. Don't y'all know if y'all consolidated all y'all bread, y'all can get your own brick and y'all can cook it up yourself for cheap and y'all can all get high together and what? 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 Get my way. It ain't supposed to do that. The niggas selling crack to consolidate their bread. It's not for the crackheads to consolidate shit. And that's what we don't get. We do all of our shit backwards because we listen to people, in my opinion, liberal white people, give us advice thinking they give a fuck about your success. They don't care about you. They don't care, so they give you dumbass advice, and here we go following dumbass advice.
You should know that shit, man. You should know that shit. You falling for the same trick. Same bullshit.
Same stupid shit over and over again.
It's crazy out here.
And so they talk about over here, they say besides paying the tax and the clerical tithe and aid of the Lord's ransom and knighting of his son in marriage. Oh, so they're talking about they're talking about this is how they were getting all of their damn taxes. Same shit how we get taxes now, you know what I'm saying? So the peasants owed fees for everything he used. For grinding his grain, for the oven he baked, for pressing apples in the Lord's cider press. He got to pay for all of that shit, right? And when he died, he's owed all of his possessions go to the Lord. So they say the system was aided by the church, whose natural interest allied it more to great than to the meek. Yeah, to the meek. The church taught that failure to do the Lord's work and obey his laws would be punished by eternity in hell, and that non-payments of tithes in kind grains, eggs, a hen or a pig, and told the peasants that these were tax owed to God. Everyday life was administered by the Lord. Bailiff could levy an argumentative tax, keeping a percentage for himself, or accuse a peasant of theft and accept a fee for letting him off. So that's what we don't get. All of this shit is a white man's hustle from Europe. And then what happened with these crackers, with these Anglo Saxons? They end up popping out like a pus bubble out of damn Europe because they couldn't take the oppression over there no more. You dig what I'm saying? And this is what I try to explain to black people when it comes to white people. White people ain't great. White people ain't smarter than you. They're nothing but city slickers. They come from the hood. They came from the ghetto, from the slums. They came from oppression and poverty. They're real niggas. That's what they are. They're some real street niggas that came out of Europe and came to the suburbs of Africa where we jump on, going to the fucking shores of fucking Americas and shit, seeing the goddamn original Indians and shit, and these niggas, hey, you know what I'm saying, come here, smoke a peace pipe. What's going on, brother? What's wrong with your skin? Why is it so white? And you know what I'm saying? And not knowing that, nigga, you talking to some killers. You know what I'm saying? You talking to some niggas right now. You don't know who you talking to?
It's like a Western.
These niggas.
That's like the story of the Westerns, man. You know what I'm saying? White boy, he roll up in the town and shit. Nigga, you don't know who the fuck he is. So they kill everybody. Some old Western shit, man.
You know,
some outlaws.
That's how they are. Even the concept of tribes and all that, that's not no African shit. That's European shit. Tribal wars, that's not no African shit. That's European shit. Then they came to Africa, and they looking at these families. You know what I'm saying? And they said, oh, the tribe. Let's pin these niggas against each other. So they having now, these niggas going back and forth with each other, and they, this is tribal war shit. And they writing that shit in the book. And now when we get the information, then we turn around and we say, there's always been tribal war in Africa. You saying tribal war shows that you're following the white man's ideology. Just like the lion being the king of the jungle. All of this is white man ideology. All of this Bible stuff, all of this God stuff, all of this economic system, his rules, his laws, his money, because again, we already established that the money is not backed by anything except faith. Like think about how light that is. That this money that motherfuckers is sticking niggas up for. You got black women shaking their ass for a piece of paper being slapped on their ass that ain't worth shit except a promise that is worth shit. Like just think about your reality.
That's
the motherfuckers on your phone saying, yo, we're going to fuck your credit score up. Another make-believe shit, right? We're going to fuck your credit score up because this money that ain't worth shit. Because the whole shit about the money, if you read it, it says the purpose of money is for private and public debt. That is it. It ain't used to be talking on the phone, on Instagram with. It's not used to be making it rain on hoes in the strip club. The purpose is for public and private debt. That is it. You're supposed to use that money to build something. We allowed them to turn us into consumers. And the consumer ain't nothing but a crackhead. With every other nation being our drug dealer. Straight up.
Yeah.
That's why we sitting around like the parents of kids who's on drugs. If we came together, look, we spend $1.1 trillion a year. If we could just get that money and we... That sounds like desperation. Seeing something crumbling. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. We have to figure out something. We have to figure out We got to figure out how we got into this position. How? Being lazy.
Ooh. Ouch.
Can we change the laziness? I don't know. That's why I keep saying I'd rather for us just to breed it out. Close it out, Smoke. Close it out.
I mean, we got to. We got to change it all, man. I mean, that's a tough statement. Is it going to be with us? Is it going to breed it out, with our children? It definitely got to go through the children regardless, you know what I'm saying? But however you look at it, you know what the goal is, and we just got to we got to mobilize towards the goal. We've been speaking about we've been speaking about everything from history to economics to, families, how you going to, deal with your black family. I mean, we talked about everything, but now it's just time to really start mobilizing and putting things together. The talk is cool, but you gotta make it happen. You heard?
Yeah, you got to, because they definitely teaching their kids. You see what I'm saying? They definitely teaching their kids. Yeah, so we gotta wonder what the hell we teaching ours. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
Jordan,
we coming to the end of the
and LeBron.
You know what happened?
And fucking, I said Jordan, LeBron, fucking the latest dance out. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Fleek, all that bullshit. That's what the kids learning. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do better, man.
You got to, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, you got to say to yourself, what type of world is you leaving for your children? If you know you're in the middle of a war, your daddy left you 100 guns, and you popping people, you collecting guns too, you would hope to leave your child at least 200. But if your daddy left you 100 guns, and you get your house raided, and before you die, you only got 5 guns left to pass on to your kids, how you expect your child to protect themselves? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you left us out here bare. Well, everybody else is strapped up. And that's why that narrative has to change. We have to change the way we're looking at this situation, this game plan. No more this equality bullshit. I don't want to be equal with my oppressor. I don't want to be equal with my oppressor. We're not equal. Once we understand that we're not equal, maybe that'll give us the sense of the fight. Maybe because the liberals kept telling us that we are equal and we're fighting for equality, and we're not perfect, but we're almost getting there, and we're not perfect, but we're almost getting there, and we're not perfect, but we're almost getting there. Well, it sure don't feel like it. It sure don't feel like it.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm being strung along with it's like the carrot, what was it, the carrot and the stick. And it's like the white man on your back with holding the stick with the carrot in front, and he hey, Mr. White Man, how long I gotta walk before I get this carrot? Keep on walking. You're almost there. You're almost there. You almost keep on walking.
And the only trick to it is knocking the man off your back. The only trick to it is knocking the man off your back. Knock his ass off, and the game is over.
But if
then you can take the carrot and keep it pushing.
But
you can knock his ass off, take the carrot and ride out.
The story you're reading though is, so the man is on your back, and you keep walking because you know eventually you're gonna get that carrot. So you just keep on walking. You start thinking about your ancestors. You start calling on your ancestors to give you strength to keep on walking, because you know those who walk the longest and the hardest get the most reward at the end. As long as you keep on reading that story over, you're never going to get out, because you're going to keep thinking, I'm supposed to walk. I got to walk. I got to walk for my ancestors. They died for them.
It's like that. It's like that picture with the footprints picture with God, Jesus walking. It's like 2 sets of footprints or some shit like that. I think it's either 2 or 3. Some shit, man. God walking with me. I got to keep going. Shit.
You gotta keep it down, man. You gotta buck that.
Knock
Knock
that
that
shit
monkey
off,
off
man.
his back. Yeah, knock
the
that
carrot.
monkey off his back. Hey, you know what's crazy too? Before the closeout, I also wanted to mention, if you remember, I told you that the Planet of the Apes, all this new Planet of the Apes coming out, all of that is talking about the making of the white man. The whole joint is talking about from the one from Marky Mark all the way up into the new one coming out. I'm going to break that shit down, right? So the point of me bringing that up is to say this, right? If you remember, I was just reading in this shit talking about the Anglo Saxon supremacy. They talk about how the Anglo Saxon is supremacy is over European whites, Asian Americans, and African Americans, right? So Anglo Saxon is above European whites. You see what I'm saying? And the Planet of the Apes had a hierarchy, right? With the Caesar type ape was the top, and then you had the other type apes breaking down to the bottom. You see what I'm saying? And I told you the humans are the black people, no matter the race. The humans represent the black people. The monkeys represent the white people. I don't know why black people keep thinking the monkeys represent them. But we'll get into another part of that. I might break that down tomorrow because I don't think we're going to do we may or may do a show that Friday. May or maybe not, but definitely ain't going to be. Yeah, definitely ain't going to be no show that Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. This might be the last. This might be coming up. This might be the last week right here until the new year. You know what I'm saying? But we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good.
But shit, until then,
it'll be a good week or two break. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back, revamped. You know what I'm saying? Energized and shit. So you got any closing out you got to say, Smoke?
Shit, man. Shit, nah, we did everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, tomorrow. Until tomorrow, you already know.
Tomorrow. All right, black people. Peace.